get right to the point. The United States of America is about to come under the divine chastisement of God.
It's not a game, not even a war. Beyond rain, beyond storm, beyond Katrina. You ain't never seen a natural disaster with a meaner demeanor. Beyond danger, when it lies anger, you'll never witness nothing stranger. This here changer, permanently rearrange ya back to where you came from. Oh, you don't get it? Oh, you the fittest. It don't matter. Anybody can get it. Everybody gon' feel it. From hell to the ceiling. Whole states wiped out, killing by the million. What happened to the buildings and all these children? Don't get mad, it's God doing the killing. Weapons of mass destruction, no power. You can't prepare for the shock of the hour.
No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why.
I can't quit. I'm like Saddam, keeping my eye on Clinton, watching each movie he make. Cause every slither he takes sort of reminds.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Final Call News Hour. I'm your host, Brother Herman Muhammad. Miss you guys. I haven't been on Facebook Live in a little while. I've just been busy with life. But I'm glad to see you all joining us tonight. This evening, we're going to be real quick, but we're going to be thorough. The current issue of the Final Call newspaper is entitled Pay to Play. Changes may be on the horizon for billion-dollar college sports industry where athletes earn nothing, but coaches, schools, conferences, and others are wallowing in profits. Should and will athletes finally get paid? That's the latest edition of your Final Call newspaper, and you need to definitely pick that up, from Supreme Style, or go to the Nation of Islam Study Center here in Denver, located at 4651 Tulsa Court. Our meeting times are Sundays at 10, Wednesdays at 7:30, Fridays at 7:30. You're welcome to come anytime. Visit the sites, NOI.org or astar2.com locally. Again, I'm your man, Herman Muhammad. And I want to remind you guys, if you don't have access to the Final Call newspaper, you can always subscribe online. Go to digital.finalcall.com. Again, before we get into this current issue, I just want to welcome you all to the show. Come on, jump on, Brother Eric. Good to see you, brother. Again, we're going to be talking about paying to play. This is the issue, but just very briefly, I really wanted to talk about a couple of issues in the news. One, I wanted to congratulate our brother Michael Hancock here locally in Denver for being acquitted of charges I wish I had a shot at the brother, but I don't. But I know I've been seeing a bunch of stuff online with regards to him beating the case where he should have beat the case because it was clearly self-defense. And I want to congratulate his mother, Stephanie, and his father, Michael, and the whole family, and welcoming that brother home. Before we get into what I really want to talk about, which is the 24th anniversary of the Million Man March, the Holy Day of Atonement, which is coming up this coming Sunday, I wanted to just touch on a story that appears in this issue of the Final Call newspaper dealing with Amber Guyger. And I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on this because a lot has been said. You know, and this story appears on page 4 of the Final Call newspaper. And the story is written by brother Jihad Hassan Muhammad, and it's entitled A Miscarriage of Justice. And it deals with the case of our brother Botham Jean. Let me give you a shot of him, who is the brother in Dallas who was murdered by a police officer named Amber Guyger. Let me give you a shot of Amber. And Amber, allegedly the story is that she mistakenly entered brother Botham Jean's apartment thinking it was hers and killed the brother. And to be quite honest, I didn't think that she was going to be convicted of the murder, but she was. I thought for sure that they was going to let this woman go, that she would be totally acquitted, because she's a little white woman and he's a brother. And that's just the way things go for black people here in America when it comes to the criminal injustice system. So I was shocked. I was shocked that Amber Guyger was actually convicted of murder. But here's the thing that I wanted to toss around with you all tonight, if you could be patient with me. And it's just why I just want you to think about some things with regards to this whole Amber Guyger situation. She was convicted of murder. Murder in Texas, under those circumstances, carries a sentence of 5 to 99 years. She could have gotten 5 to 99 years. That's a huge spectrum. That's a huge a time span, in terms of difference in time. 5 to 99 years. That's a whole lot of difference. You know what I'm saying? But Amber, because she's a lily white woman, ended up getting 10 years. And so black people, especially according to the Final Call newspaper, felt very like we had been robbed, because it was like we didn't receive justice, right? Because here it is, the woman got convicted. She walked into the brother's house, and there's so many circumstances that should have let her know that. That should have let her know that it wasn't her apartment, right? Anybody who's ever entered their own apartment knows they spot. But I don't even want to get into the particulars of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to get into all of that. The bottom line is, the white woman got off 10 years, and they say she'll probably do about 5 for murdering a brother mistakenly. And here's the thing. Here's my big thing. Kwame D's in the building. Here's my big thing about this whole situation. First off, she's a police officer, right? So police officers are held to a higher standard than the average citizen with regards to upholding the law. The story in the final call is entitled A Miscarriage of Justice. Because, again, the woman got 10 years, which she'll probably do half of that. Right? Maybe. They said she was up for parole in 2 years or something like that, but I don't know if that's true. But here's the other thing that happens with the criminal and justice system that could happen with Amber Guyger. Give you a shot of Amber. See, when you get convicted of murder and then you only get 10 years, if you get convicted of murder and it's less than 15 years, it's automatically brought up for appeal. So she could automatically appeal this and really get that 5 years even knocked down. So it makes it even more of an injustice, right? Makes it even more of an injustice because she might not even do the 5 years that she was given. So here's what they say in the final call. Jurors who found Mrs. Guyger guilty sentenced her to 10 years in prison before the brother of shooting victim Botham Shem Jean declared his forgiveness and love for the officer who said she mistook the victim's apartment for her own and fatally shot the 26-year-old black accountant thinking he was an intruder. She was the first Dallas police officer to be found guilty of murder since the early 1970s, and according to Jean family attorney and civil rights lawyer Lee Merritt, the first and only white woman police officer to have ever been convicted of the murder of an unarmed black person in American history. So that speaks volumes right there, that she's the first and only white woman to ever be convicted of murdering a black man in history. But here, so I mean, there's so many layers to this whole thing. Brother Haris is in the building. Brother Jamil, salam alaikum. Here's the thing, family, just with regards to justice. And the thing that's so outrageous about that whole case. For one, the young brother of Botham Jean begging the judge, can he give Miss Amber a hug? Are you serious? I mean, just think about how outrageous this is. You know, a lot can be said, and then there's this whole thing about that this was a display of forgiveness and mercy, and you know, social media and whatnot. Some people were applauding the brother's forgiving heart. Some people applauded the judge for coming down and hugging the Miss Amber, the officer, because she, you know, showed some sympathy for killing the brother. But here's the thing. We're talking about justice. But the reality is, as a people, we never receive justice. You know, the other big story that came out not too long ago was, of course, Sister Ava DuVernay's portrayal of the Central Park Five in New York. These 5 young teenagers who were convicted of raping a white woman in 1989, and they were totally innocent, had nothing to do with this rape. And each of them did, you know, one of the brothers did close to 15 years, but they all did close to 10 for something that they were totally innocent of, but nobody showed any sympathy. Not one drop. Not 1 ounce of sympathy for these brothers who were totally innocent. Your president, in fact, called for reinstituting the death penalty in New York. But here this white woman is in Dallas, who's a police officer, who goes in to this brother's apartment He got a red mat in front of his apartment. She goes in. She doesn't even point her gun and say, stop, hold it right there. No, she goes in, she shoots and kills him. He's 26 years old, in the prime of his young life. Yet, the world is sympathetic, merciful. The judge gives her a hug. The bailiff is stroking her hair. What type of Negro stuff that we got going on here? And because you might not believe me. Maybe you're not up on social media. But let me just give you a little picture of what I'm talking about. Here's a picture of Botham Jean's brother, younger brother, hugging this woman who murdered his sister. And there's another picture of the judge, whose name is Tammy Kemp. And she's hugging Amber as well after the sentence of 10 years was leveled at, leveled or given to Amber for the murder of a black man. Man, see, this is all the more reason, according to one of the national spokespersons of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Sister Ava, she made a beautiful point in this particular article that we should separate. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is pointed out in this Final Call newspaper, is that during the sentencing, Judge Kemp, the sister who was hugging Amber, permitted the jury to invoke castle law to consider what Miss Guyger could have been thinking. The law essentially allows for someone to have the right to defend themselves in their own home. And this is a quote from the lawyer. She was not in her apartment, so the castle law should not have had anything to do with this case at all, said Professor Douglas. The perpetrator should not have been able to use it in this case, he added. If anything, castle law would have applied to the man shot in his own apartment, argued Professor Douglas. And that's a lawyer who, leveled some of his professional criticism at this decision to give this young white woman 10 years instead of something more. They're talking about how the judge says that you guys have to forgive me, man. I'm not shocked at what happened here, but it's kind of hard to just wrap my mind around this type of coonery, these type of cooning shenanigans, so to speak, because we never get justice in this system. Ever. Ever. And so there were people who were celebrating hard because finally a white police officer, got convicted of murdering an innocent black man. Finally. And then to have the rug pulled from underneath your feet and they only give her 10 years when they could have gave her 99. It's just disheartening. You know what I'm saying? It's just disheartening. But it's all the more reason that we should consider seriously, black people, seriously. Brother Mason, Assalamu alaikum. We should seriously consider what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. And that is that we have to separate. Let me give you a shot of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have to separate from this enemy. we will never get justice in their system. You know, they convicted this woman, but then, like I said, they snatched that so-called moral victory from underneath us like a rug so that we could fall right on our backsides to let us know that you're not going to get no justice in this system. So you might as well go and do something for yourself. You might as well. I mean, look at this. I gotta, I gotta keep showing this because I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words, man. This is the brother of Botham Jean, and this is the judge in the case. I mean, this is unprecedented. There are organizations now who are calling uh, this sister's action, Sister Tammy Kemp, the judge, judicial misconduct because you're not even supposed. She gave the woman a Bible, and we talking about all this true Christian love when there's a separation of church and state in this country. So here, this judge is not even adherent to the rules and laws that she was set up to accept, that she accepted when she became a judge. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. But I just want you all to, I want to remind you all to pick up this final call because I don't want to read the entire story to you because I want you to pick it up and read it. But this is the current edition of the Final Call newspaper, paid to play, and it has that story on page 4 about Amber Guyger and Botham Jean and the whole scenario. Brother Vince. Now, I want to get to what I really came to talk to you all about. And that is on Sunday, October the 13th, we will hear from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, inshallah, once again, because we're celebrating the 24th anniversary of the Million Man March. We're cordially inviting each and every one of you out to our NOI Denver Study Center. If you're in the city of Denver, you want to come to 4651 Tulsa Court. That's in the Montbello area. The number's there. If you need some info, 720-365-7275. Again, it's Sunday, October 13th. Our doors open at noon. The event starts promptly at 1 p.m. I'm sure the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will have some guidance with regards to this situation that I've been talking about tonight and to all of the issues that face our people in this, crucial hour. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been fighting for us consistently for over 6 decades, man, for 64 years. You know what I'm saying? And if you've never heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this is your perfect opportunity to come and fellowship with your Muslim brothers and sisters. We gotta give this Nation of Islam thing a try, y'all. There have been so many things that have been said about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, about the Nation of Islam, about solutions that, or the problems that we face as a people and who has the right solutions. Well, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan absolutely has the solutions because he has the solutions from his father, his teacher, the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And, let's not set trip over what religion we are. Just know that we in trouble. Just know that we all are potentially in this system. Each and every one of us, if we black, we all potentially Botham Jean or Sandra Bland or Tamir Rice or Walter Scott or the Central Park Five, or I mean, man, we got so many of our people. Marvin Booker here locally. We got so many of our people, man, who have been destroyed by this system, because this system is aimed to destroy us, that we need right guidance in this hour. And that guidance is coming through the mouth of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Take it or let it alone. But I prefer that you take it. I prefer that you come and you join us again this coming Sunday for our Holy Day of Atonement. And remembering that, if you all weren't at the Million Man March, I was at the historic Million Man March on Washington in 1995, where the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan called for 1 million black men to show up, and 2 million showed up by God's grace. And he called us there not to start a revolution or to make trouble amongst an enemy who maybe needed to be made trouble amongst, but he called us there for atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility, because this is absolutely the man of God in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So you all don't miss this opportunity to hear from your brother. Don't miss this opportunity to fellowship with your Muslim brothers and sisters. We'd love to have you. We're going to have some food. We're going to have, just a good time, man. Have a good time just celebrating this awesome event which was the Million Man March. And I say to you, long live the spirit of the Million Man March. Again, it's going to be, and I'm going to give you our address. We meet at the Nation of Islam Studies Center, 4651 Tulsa Court, Denver. That's in the Montbello area. That's all the information. Come on through. You are welcome. Cordially invited by your brother Hermit Muhammad, man. I'm going to get out of here again. I just wanted to talk to you all just briefly. And just remember, fam, stay black, stay strong. Hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. If not, we'll see you Sunday after that. But we really want to see you during this Holy Day of Atonement, the 24th anniversary of the Million Man March. Thank you. I love you. Appreciate you. Remember, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Peace. We out.
From rags to riches to bad bitches, I had the vision, just added wisdom. A mathematician, a savage nigga. I got the stripes, I'm platted, nigga. Could live life being average, nigga. Had to go climb that ladder, nigga. I was broke as a joke, I was mad at niggas. Now I'm whipping to the bank, I'm laughing, nigga. Like ha 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 I got this shit jumping now, go check the vert. All I need is some drink, I ain't doing no perks. She scared of the light, but she wantin' the perks. I sold her a dream and it came with some merch. Niggas be flawed, we pullin' they cars. We park on the lawn, don't need no garage. Real niggas eatin', this ain't no facades. And shots at your image, keep acting like God. Spam links, I ain't heard your song, no. Try to do the right shit with the wrong hoe. Try to knock on the wrong door. If it ain't a penthouse, you on the wrong floor. I ain't even impressed, ain't no pussy impressive. Pull up in some shit like it came from the Jetsons. Counting my blessings, just thankful for lessons. since these rappers in debt ain't no question, nigga. From rags to riches to bad bitches, I had the vision, just added wisdom. A mathematician, a savage, nigga. I got the stripes, I'm platted, nigga. Could live life being average, nigga. Had to go climb that ladder, nigga. I was broke as a joke, I was mad at niggas. Now I'm whipping to the bank, I'm laughing, nigga. Like ha 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 ha.